It is not necessary that a person's life is always filled with happiness. Happiness and sadness are two sides of the same coin. If there is no sadness and bad times in a person's life, then he will never understand the importance of good times. There are many people when problems come in their life, then they repeatedly say that when will the good time come? But good times depend on fate as well as our deeds also help in bringing good times to us. God tries to tell the events happening in a person's life by giving signals in various ways. When a person's good time is about to come, then God tries to tell him by giving signals in various ways that your good time will come soon. Have some patience. In such a situation, due to lack of information, people take those signs wrongly or do not welcome them. Thus, when problems do not leave them, then they get disappointed. Today in this video we are going to tell you what are the signs of good times coming and how these signs should be welcomed. Friends, Gautam Buddha's teachings can give a new direction to everyone's life. If you also believe in it, then do not forget to write Namo Buddhaya in the comments. Let's start this story. It was a long time ago. A poor man lived in a village. That man was very much troubled by the sorrows of his life. Whenever he went to do some work, that work would come close to being successful. He would only get failure in the last moments. Sometimes he used to be in trouble about health, and sometimes there was an untimely death in his family. He was fed up with the sorrows of his life. One day he was sitting at the door of his house thinking. Then a flock of birds came to his door. He was already upset. Seeing the birds, he started chasing them away. All the birds went away from his door. That person had this special habit. Whenever he saw any animal around his house, he used to start killing and chasing it away. He never greeted the sages and saints on seeing them, but turned his face and walked away from there. Finally, when he lost courage after facing continuous troubles, one day he decided that he will end this life now. He left his house and went out of the village, and as soon as he saw the river, he jumped into it. But what is this? Two sannyasis pulled him out of the river water. Actually, when he was jumping into the river, a sannyasi and his two disciples were sitting there. Seeing that person jumping into the river, the sannyasi ordered his disciples and pulled that person out of the water. As soon as he came out of the water, that person shouted at the sannyasi. He said, "Why did you save my life? I do not want to live, I have to die." The sannyasi explained to him, "This life is very valuable. Why are you wasting it like this? After all, when the time is up, you have to leave this earth." The person said, "I am fed up with the troubles of my life. I don't understand when my good times will start. Everything in my life goes bad. I try a lot, but still I don't get success." The sannyasi said, "I will help you. First of all, remove the thought of committing suicide from your mind, because this is the biggest sin. People who commit suicide never get salvation. Do you think that if you commit suicide your problems will end? Never. Rather, by committing suicide you are proved to be a coward." Then the person said, "Oh sannyasi, you are very meditative. Please show me a way. Tell me when my good times will come and what are its signs." The sannyasi said, "I will definitely help you, but before that you will have to do my work. You will have to listen to me as I tell you." The person said, "Whatever you say, I accept it. You tell me when will the good times come in my life and what are the signs of it." The sannyasi said, "Listen to me first." The person said, "Okay, tell me." The sannyasi said, "If you want your good times to come soon, then feed the birds every day." The person made a face and said, "What kind of work is this? I don't like birds. If they come through me, I chase them away." Then the sannyasi said, "This is how you welcome the signs of good times." The person was shocked. He said, "What do birds have to do with good times?" The sannyasi said, "First of all, do this work and come back. Feed the birds that come to your door every day and meet me here after a week." The person had no other option. He accepted the sannyasi's words and went back home. Now whenever birds came to his door, he would start feeding them. Thus, after doing this for about a week, he started feeling that he was getting some good news. Perhaps now his life is going to change. After a week, when he met the sannyasi, he said that he started feeding the birds. Now he started getting some good news. The sannyasi explained to him, "Many times people in their troubles and anger push away the good signs coming in their life. There are some such unexpected things in life, the effect of which shows that now good times are going to come in life." The man said, "Now you tell me what are the signs of good times?" The sannyasi started explaining. He said, "The first sign is the arrival of birds, sparrows, etc. at the door. After feeding the birds for a week, you must have understood how important they are in our lives. Actually, birds are God's favorite. These small creatures are very innocent. Whenever something good is about to happen in life, God sends them to man's door as messengers. If man welcomes them well, gives them food and water, then good times come quickly. But if man treats them badly, then even good times go away. Therefore, whenever a bird comes to the door, it should be welcomed. The second sign is the arrival of a cow at the door. Cow is such an animal that gives us milk. Gods consider this milk as Amrit. There is also a provision for worshipping cows in Vedas and scriptures. It is said that whenever roti is made in the house, the first roti should be dedicated to the cow. Whenever a cow is seen around the house, it should be fed roti, considering it a good sign. Cows are God's favorite. Whatever God is pleased with those who serve cows wholeheartedly. Cows should never be harassed, rather they should be welcomed as messengers of God. The third sign is to see ancestors in dreams. If you ever see ancestors in dreams, it should be considered a good sign. Our ancestors may be far away from us, but they are connected to us in some way or the other. Their appearance in dreams is a sign of good times to come. They come to give us a message for the good times to come. Therefore, whenever you see ancestors in dreams, you should not consider it bad, rather you should consider it good and keep your mind happy. You should always bow down to your ancestors and should bow down to them every day, considering them as God. The fourth sign is tears in eyes while worshipping. Usually worship and prayers are daily rituals. It should be done every day. But some people become so engrossed in devotion that tears start coming from their eyes while worshipping. This is the best sign from God that good times are about to begin. If anything of this sort is happening to you, then you should thank God. God Himself wants to connect with you. That is why He has filled your heart with this kind of devotion. Fifth sign, darshan of saints and sages in difficult times. If you are going through a very difficult time in life and you are having darshan of saints and sages, then this time should be considered a good sign. Saints and sages are very majestic and have a deep connection with God. They work as representatives of God. When you have darshan of them, you should bow down to them. You should always bow down to them by offering them food, etc. Sixth sign, suddenly finding the way. Many times when people are in difficulty, they do not find any way out. But when they do puja path, etc., or do pious deeds, then God definitely shows them the way. If you are in trouble and suddenly something comes to your mind that doing this can perhaps solve my problem, then you should do it immediately. Because if that thought has come to your mind, then there are divine powers behind it which are helping you. So, in times of trouble, the first thought of solution that comes to mind should be done immediately. By doing this, your good time starts soon. On hearing the words of the sannyasi, the person thanked him and said, "You have saved my life. If you were not there, I would not have been alive today. I promise that after today, whatever problem comes in life, I will face it bravely. Also, I will welcome these good signs. I will never torture any animal on seeing it." Thus, the sannyasi showed the person a new path of life.